All right, nobody is signed in as of now. Let's go ahead and stop my video for a second. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen so I can pull up the other videos. All right, give me 1 second here. Where in the heck? There we go. Just in case anybody logs on. All right, so we're gonna play the other videos here. So the other video we're gonna play is gonna have Michael Bradshaw and his mom in it discussing aftermarket parts. Now be in mind, Michael, would you like to give just a little bit of spin on this video? I know it was done a few years ago. Would you like to just kind of explain it for a quick second? Where are you? That's it. Hey, Michael. What? Come here. We're about to play your video with your mom on aftermarket parts. Can you just give a brief overview? I know it was a few years ago. If you just want to kind of explain.
What you did like this?
You had short hair in this video.
Yeah. What was it? Okay, so aftermarket parts, they're bad. They don't work. They don't fit. Sorry, sometimes you got to call spade a spade. But basically, everybody's insurance premiums are rated on new parts from the manufacturer, cost of new cars. There's been study after study done. Every time there is legislation presented in states around the country, the first thing that the insurance lobbyists do is they scream about how much everybody's insurance is going to go up. But if you go back and you look at states that have changed the laws where they've made new parts a requirement on, say, 3 model years, 5 model years, whatever it is, the premiums don't go up at any different rate than our premiums go up here every year. So that's kind of what this is about.
All right, thank you, sir.
Insurance companies and aftermarket parts manufacturers claim they've saved consumers millions of dollars by using cheaper imitation parts. But let's take a closer look at the numbers and find out who's really saving money.
The Property Casualty Insurers Association of America put together a special report in January of 2013, arguing that the use of aftermarket parts has reduced the amount that insurers have had to pay on many claims.
In their report, insurers argue that if they didn't save this money by using aftermarket parts, these costs could be passed on to the drivers in the form of higher premiums. But what have we seen in actual practice? Your car insurance premiums are going up. In 2015, GEICO premiums increased 10% from 2014. Allstate is also raising their insurance rates, despite a 13% increase in profits in the first quarter of 2015.
And that's where these cost savings are going, to your insurance company's bottom line. Car insurance premiums overall were up nearly 10% compared to the previous year.
But just for the sake of argument, let's pretend that the cost insurance companies save by using cheaper aftermarket parts actually did go to the policyholder. In the insurance industry's report, this would translate to a savings of between $18 and $24 for each policyholder. So in theory, using aftermarket parts on your car could save you as much as $24 a year on your insurance payments.
But what exactly happens when your car is repaired with an imitation part? Aftermarket parts have not been designed by the original manufacturer, and they don't fit your vehicle structure the way genuine replacement parts do. When a body shop uses one of these parts, they have to force these imitation parts to fit. This often means drilling holes, warping panels, and otherwise altering your vehicle.
When these types of repairs are performed, your vehicle suffers a significant loss in value. It's referred to as repair-related diminished value, and it can have a huge impact when you go to sell or trade your car in. When the person inspecting your vehicle sees that these kinds of alterations were made, the amount they're willing to give you for your car is less than it would have been if genuine parts had been used. That $24 a year savings on your insurance payments is likely to seem insignificant when you compare it to the amount you've lost on your investment.
Even CAPA, an organization that tests and certifies aftermarket parts and has an interest in demonstrating that aftermarket parts are acceptable, found that 95% of the non-CAPA certified parts failed to meet comparability requirements to OEM. In their words, the industry complaints about the quality of the majority of the aftermarket parts used every day may be well-founded. This means that consumers may get aftermarket parts that are not comparable to their car brand counterparts.
Naturally, CAPA claims that their certified aftermarket parts are the exception to the rule. But in our experience in repairing cars and in calculating the repair-related loss in value, CAPA certified aftermarket parts have just as many problems with fit, finish, performance, and safety as the other 80% of aftermarket parts.
But when you're talking about savings for the consumer, all of this is ultimately irrelevant because those savings don't get passed on. At the end of the day, when insurers insist on the use of aftermarket parts, they're doing this to maximize their own profits. And the consumer loses out on both sides of the equation.
All right. What's that? Go ahead, Brian.
I would tell you, as associations, one of the things we did with like myself and money our members, I bought aftermarket parts for a Civic, salvage parts, and new parts at one of the dealers in town. Donated parts. We took all those to one of the sister shops in Raleigh and had 5 or 6 people from the DLI come into the shop and did a presentation with them. But my guys took the time to weigh every part, measure every part, did a hardness test on every part, and presented that information to DLI in hopes that they would, take these aftermarket parts up in the series. So in the statute in North Carolina, it does say that the parts have to be of equal performance. So I think everybody in the room, Brian, Charles done a great job with proving to the insurance company that you can, if it weighs different, the hardness is different, anything is different, you don't have to use it. So I think that's starting with Michael and his mom and putting those things together and us using the membership dollars to push that in North Carolina. I think that's had a positive effect. I can tell you, we don't use any aftermarket parts, and my gross profit this year on parts is north of 33%. So I know it can be done and make it 100% factory parts, no problem. So just some of the things that we try to do as a group association, getting that accomplished, I think it's definitely had a positive effect on us, and hopefully you guys as well. We're here to help you with those things if it comes up. So,
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
So the last video that's about to be played, we actually invested money through the consumer committee to make a professional video. This is not ad-lib, this is scripted. This is available to all of our members. We're going to send it out to everybody. This is the video that you can actually customize for your shops. So hopefully you guys will like it.
You can choose where to take your vehicle for collision repairs. So how do you pick which collision repair facility is right for you? Look for quality, safety, integrity, and service when deciding where to take your vehicle for repair.
When it comes to your car, quality is everything. You know that repairs are getting done properly when a shop uses original equipment parts. One thing to keep in mind, your repair facility warranties the repair.
You also know that a quality collision repair center puts your safety first. Safe collision repairs are conducted by qualified, trained technicians and shops who follow manufacturer's repair procedures on all vehicles, no matter the damage.
Another great way to choose a collision repair facility is by their reputation. Online reviews and others' experiences give you insight on the shop's integrity. You want a collision repair facility you can trust.
Trustworthy collision repair centers make their customers feel confident about their experience. Find a professional that communicates transparently and keeps you informed during your vehicle's collision repair.
You deserve quality, safety, integrity, and service for your vehicle's repair. Find the right collision center for you.
All right, my name is Casey Starnes. I'm from Starnes Collision, and I'm going to do the shall I have to discuss any subject related to price charge, hourly rate, negotiated for agreements made with third party
Awesome. Thank you, Casey. Just give me 1 second. We are on Zoom. So this is how our speakers, my computer is going to have to be up there for Zoom. All right. So before Kyle speaks, I'm going to get up and introduce the vendors. And then after I do that, we're going to move along to our first speaker. So I'll be able to switch back. Just bear with us, getting used to doing this Zoom stuff kind of live. Hi, Augusto. All right, good deal. All right. Karan, if you can hear me, wave at me. Awesome, buddy. So just bear with us. We'll have to plug you back into the computer after we get done with a few more items. All right. Where did I put the sheet? Okay, cool. Kyle, when you do your speech, we're gonna do it up here. Okay, so just let me do my items. All right, just so, can you see me do that?
Yeah, yep, you're good.
Fantastic.
Good to go.
Again, glad everybody made the trip out tonight. It's been 1.5 years since we've been able to get together. So super excited for this event tonight. It's been a hard 1.5 years for a lot of people. I know for me, I've had COVID twice. And so it's been I tend to be a magnet for that and for the virus, but I'm still here, I'm living. So pretty excited, been very busy this year. 2022 is going to be full of lots of exciting things for CCA. So we hope you guys have enjoyed what we've done so far and what we have coming. So right now we're going to introduce our business partners. Business partners keep CCA alive. They keep us going. They do a lot for us. Obviously, if you look here tonight with Autotality being our main host, we definitely appreciate it. And we'll talk about them here soon so you guys can clap and all that good stuff. So when I call your name, if you could stand up. Augusto, would you like to help me? Can you get the microphone for me? Where's the microphone? Where's the mic? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to call somebody. I would like them to stand up. Can you take the microphone over to them, please? All right. All right. So in no particular order. So we have level 1 sponsors. We have level 2 sponsors. And we have just regular general vendor members. So we definitely want to thank all of our vendors who are involved with CCA. So first up, we're going to start with ADAS Solutions, Mr. Owen Parker.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, just talking to them. Just tell them a little something.
Hey. I'm Owen Parker. My company is ADAS Solutions. I have about 10 years of experience in the automotive industry as a mechanic, and I started this company 2 years ago. I'm sure you guys see a lot an increase in those systems of those cars coming to your shops. So it's definitely it became a challenge, and that's why we started this company to try to help shops with this new technology. You have any questions for me?
No, you good, man? Thank you, Owen. Thank you. Owen runs the Charlotte market. So if anybody's in Charlotte looking for ADAS calibrations, that's your man right there in the area. So thank you, Owen, for supporting CCA.
Hey, one thing about Owen.
Yeah.
If I may, I do a lot of work with Owen. That's our areas, because us as a shop, when we do these calibrations, we are the ones responsible. I had taken to the dealers, and I know that it wasn't done. Okay, that's the reason that we start doing a lot of ADAS on the house inside, because I want to make sure that they get done. So when we give somebody the car, we make sure that they are done. I had several times that I took them to dealers, I get a bill, but I know they're not been done. Because I know the steps that it takes, and they say on a Kia, on the blind spot, you gotta remove the bumper. I get a deal from Kia for $85. You know, for $85, They then remove the bumper, put it back on, done the calibration, give it back, right? So they just put it on the scan, they make sure that it's working. When I had issues, other mechanical issues, since he's a mechanic, you know, I'm in a bodyman and a painter, but I'm not a mechanic. And Owen, since we do a lot of business, is somebody to go to. Like, hey, Owen, I got a problem with this. He goes over the wire diagram and he said, I go to try this. And he helped me a lot. He does great business more than just what he's supposed to do. You know, I just want to say that about him because he helped me a lot.
Second.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. All right, next up is a level 1 sponsor. Of course, the level, right. There you go. Our level 1 sponsor, somebody who's been with us since the beginning. They started off as when North Carolina and South Carolina were separate. They started off and, you know, they flipped the bill on everything. So we definitely appreciate them. I want to introduce from Exalta, Mr. David Rode. Can't hear.
Like coming out tonight, I'll just talk loud.
Just talk loud.
I've been with Exalt for 14 years, and this past year and a half has been a real challenge, and we're still facing challenges now because a lot of products we use to make paint on boats out there in the ocean still. I mean, Matt and them still, they feel the pain we're feeling. Before I was a painter, 20 years, managed a shop for a year, so a lot of you guys just managing shops, I feel your pain, so anything I can do to help, I'm here for you.
Thanks, David. So one of our new vendors, we actually built a partnership with this company. I'm yet to try them out, but I've heard nothing but good things from the industry. I reached out to a few people and they said they have a really great program and we're definitely interested in introducing it to everyone. From Auto Video Engage, John Webb.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity to be here and see everyone. The platform is essentially broken down into 2 parts. One is a marketing component and the other one is an operational component. And the objective is to produce and leverage video in an efficient and cost-effective manner. So I think when you think about how you're relating with people, unless you're person to person, the way people consume content and look at how to create video like what we just saw up there with what Josh and Michael and the Bradshaws have produced. That's kind of what our platform's about. And we look forward to the partnership. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, John. Next up from our, this company is a new level 1 sponsor for CCA in 2021. We definitely appreciate their support. From NCS Single Source, Mr. Wade Thomas.
Thank you for having us tonight. It's great to be back in person here at the association. For those that are not familiar with NCS and Single Source National Coatings and Supplies, we're a national jobber, paint, PPE supplier. We operate in 44 states, but a lot of people don't realize we are based here in North Carolina and Raleigh. So full service paint supplier with multiple brands, but we're here for any way we can help the association. So we're just happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Kind of a late arrival, but this company's been with CCA since the beginning. From Blue Ridge Color Company, Mr. Avery Kennedy.
Yeah, Avery Kennedy, Blue Ridge Color. We're also a paint. We we're out of Roanoke, Virginia. Our distribution centers in Duncan, South Carolina. Got a number of training centers. Been with the association. I'm a former shop owner, so I really believe in the association and the path that it's going, not just in the educational benefits, but the networking that you all get out of this, meeting each other and being able to communicate on that side. But we're here for you. Hopefully, we're going to do another one in our place soon. So good to be here.
All right. Next up, kind of a new member for us in 2021, maybe 2020. I cannot remember. This gentleman has donated a raffle item for us this evening. So from Thigpen Equipment, Mr. Ryan Thigpen.
Hey guys. I'm a business consultant for Hunter Engineering. If you guys are aware of our products, we have lineman equipment, tire service equipment. We also are getting into ADAS solutions as well. We have a training center in South Charlotte and Pineville. So if anybody needs any information, I'm a local representative for the part of Charlotte all the way up to Lexington. But if you need to contact your local representative, feel free to contact Josh or myself. Be glad to get you in touch with that. Glad to be here. And hopefully somebody will enjoy the raffle.
Thank you, Ryan. So, auditality, we're going to get to you in a few minutes after Kyle speaks. But I saved, no offense, guys, I saved the best for last. This guy's been with us since the very, very beginning. He has donated through his company a lot of money for North Carolina. We couldn't have done the things that we've done in North Carolina. And the reason I say North and South were split. North Carolina was bigger than South Carolina. He got this company to do a lot for us. So we're definitely appreciative. No offense, David Rode. Exalta's been great. But of course, I want to introduce from PPG, Mr. Matt Crimini.
I'm humbled to be here and proud to be a primary sponsor of this wonderful association. My roots go all the way back when this association had one member. And it was this gentleman right here, Brian Davies. I was his paint rep and I stumbled into his office on an off day and he was sitting there at his desk scratching his head, miserable. And I thought it was something that I had done. And he was concerned about the changing landscape among the industry, your competitors. And rather than just acknowledging that he was having a bad day and wishing him well, I sat there and I listened to some of his concerns. And dawned on me that some of his concerns were my concerns. The changing landscape, the analytics of this industry was making it harder and harder to forge relationships where people valued relationships with your customers as well as our relationships with our customers, being you all, the body shops. And it was his brainstorming and my willingness to give up my budget in an attempt to support all of y'all's efforts in trying to promote what you all are trying to promote. And that's safety, and that's a phenomenal repair based upon today's standards and what you're competing against out there in the marketplace that you may or may not have control over. So folks, I'm humbled to be here. Josh, I'm not good with numbers, but he was mentioning how many members are part of this association. And even though we're all not here today, this evening, you're all networking with one another and sharing information, which is going to make us all profitable for the future. So thank you, everybody else.
Awesome. Let's give it up for all of our vendors one more time. Josh did a really good job of introducing all of us, but honestly, Josh is really the heartbeat behind this thing. He puts in countless hours. It's day in, day out. When I tell you, there are days when Josh Kent pops up on my phone, I'm like, oh shit.
Not again.
But I love you, Josh. It's all love. But seriously, give him a round of applause. Brian here. So we went from a really long-winded president to me, and I'm direct, and I'm going to say what I need to say and get it done, right? So we're already about 20 minutes behind tonight. So I'm going to be pretty quick to the point. Most importantly, thank all you guys for coming, seriously. So it's a strength in numbers.
first thing for our association. And Josh, Brian, and I had a chance to go with the SCRS, had a affiliate meeting in Cleveland, Ohio, where we met with all of the associations from other states. And I can tell you guys, we're making noise. We've had growth, even through COVID. You know, it's unprecedented times for all of us, right? And so I know there's probably several of you guys here that, you know, when this thing started happening, you kind of got worried, right? Weren't really sure what was going to, and that's the same thing that happened with the association. And your continued support, even through all that, has been phenomenal. And so I just hope that we've been able to try to adapt with that and try to provide you guys with the most amount of resources possible. And so with doing some of the virtual stuff, this is our first in-person meeting. Thank you guys again for coming. If you're on Zoom, couldn't make it, let's try to get to the next one. Hopefully we'll do it a little closer to you guys. But I would say, you know, for the direction of our association and really our industry, we just want to continue to have a voice and have a heartbeat really with the industry. So I know you guys probably know a lot of consolidators are coming in, a lot of people are selling and getting bought out. And so, you know, that's even more important for us because those people are getting a voice as well. And so it's really important for us to stay in tune with what's going on. And so I know you guys know that the cost of everything has just continued to climb and skyrocket. Be cognizant of your paint materials increases, guys. Like that's a real year-over-year increase. I think within the last 16 to 18 months, it's up 15 to 20%. So I know we can't talk about what to charge, and I'm not trying to do that, but it's good to take an internal look on those things and be aware of that with your business. But I guess lastly, sorry, yeah, the forms that you guys got passed out there, those are consumer complaint forms, right? So we did them for each individual state. So if you're a North Carolina shop, you'll have a dedicated North Carolina form. South Carolina shop, you're going to have a dedicated South Carolina form. What those are for, if you have a customer that's experiencing any issues, of course, they can go to our website and go online and file it with the Department of Insurance. What we've seen with other associations in other states is if us as an association can track these, just like Brian talked about meeting with the DOI, if we have 100 complaints against Allstate Insurance for delaying a claim or for not paying for a customer's rental or certain things like that, we can take that and go to our DOI and say, hey, this is what our members are experiencing out in the field. It's not just an isolated incident with my shop or Brian's shop or anybody's shop. Like, this is a problem, and it creates a pattern at that point in time. And so when we talk about having a voice and strength in numbers, like that's what these are for. So if you have a customer that's frustrated with the process or thinks that they've been wronged or something like that, like these are a great tool to have them fill out. You can scan it in or email it, fax it, whatever. Just get it to either myself or Josh. We'll aggregate these things, and then what we're going to do is submit them directly to the DOI, obviously, and then also your local representative. So whoever your house rep is for that area, we want to get those people involved because at the end of the day, they're the ones that we're voting for and that make the ultimate decision regarding rules, regulations, and things like that. Cool. Is that good? Did I miss
Yeah. So just to add to that, you have your consumer fill out the form. It's their address on the back of one of the forms. You'll see it's for their information, because what happens is you're going to email me your form. We are then going to mail them. Are we mailing them?
Yeah.
Or emailing?
We're going to email them to the department and to the.
Yep. So we're gonna email or mail to the local congressperson of the customer, not of the shop, to the consumer. We're also going to send another copy to the Department of Insurance, and we are going to send a copy to the senator. Yeah. To the senator, and we're going to keep sending them as they come in. Mitch Dean has done 2 so far, and we have sent them out for Mitch for both of them. The state of Texas is the one that started this campaign. They have flooded. I mean, they have thousands of complaints that they've sent in to all 3 people. Guys, there's no secret sauce on if this stuff is going to work. But if we don't do something and try, we're never going to be able to accomplish anything. So again, this is voluntary. We are not forcing members to do this. If you choose not to take part, don't feel bad. This is strictly voluntary. It's, you know, it's but case by case basis. So we definitely encourage it. If you need my information, which everybody should have, just send them to me once completed and we will send them out. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, guys. So again, this is just another resource that we want to try to provide you guys. And then two, we don't have like a little suggestion box or complaint box or anything up here. But if you guys have a thought or an idea on what we can do as an association to make your life as a shop owner or manager or whatever you may be, make it easier or better, let us know. We try to bounce ideas off of everybody. But you know, undoubtedly there's going to be stuff that you're experiencing or have a thought or an idea that we haven't thought of. So please, you know, feel free to communicate openly. That's really how this thing's going to work and how it's going to continue to benefit everybody and to grow. And then lastly, we haven't talked about it much, but in February, we've got a really big conference coming up. I encourage all you guys to go ahead and mark that on your calendar. It's February 3rd through the 5th. It's going to be the Southeast. Is it the Southeast or Southeastern? Southeast Collision Conference, right? And that's going to be in
Richburg, South Carolina.
South Carolina at the Gateway Conference Center, February 3rd through the 5th. So you guys go ahead, bookmark that on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. We've got some of the biggest names in our industry that are going to be there, going to be speaking. We're going to have training classes. A lot of our lovely vendors are going to have booths. People that aren't here tonight are going to be there with booths, equipment, literally anything that you can think of, collision related and above, it's going to be there. So definitely go ahead and plan on that. Okay. Awesome. So I said I wasn't going to be long-winded. I am sorry.
You're no different than me, man.
Yeah, I'm the same guy. But no, next I'd like to bring up Casey Starnes. Again, sorry, Casey, you're getting your workout in. But thank you guys again for coming tonight. If there's anything that anybody needs, seriously, reach out to any of us. Reach out to me anytime. I'll do what I can to help. All right. Thank y'all.
All right, so wanted to touch base and first off by saying, wow, is it not great to be outside amongst other people? Yeah, it's a really good feeling to be out amongst people that we work with, we network with, and people that we trust. I can't say that I have been able to grow in this industry without meeting the people that have been here today. Help me grow and move forward and be able to do the right thing by fixing the car safely and correctly. I want to first start by thanking our board members again, and also our vendors. Very helpful for everything you put forward. Also, I wanted to, I'm gonna sneak this in real quick. We are formally known as Casey Starnes Auto Body. We changed our name recently. It was a big decision to change our name to Starnes Collision. So it was a very big decision to be able to make that change and take away KC. So KC was my father, he founded the business, but we are new. We are starting new. We're excited. So I wanted to just sneak that in real quick. Also wanted to start off by going in and formerly known also as Carolina Collision Equipment, which now is Auto Tally. And I wanted to bring on Kevin Smith as the owner, as operator, and want to bring him up today to speak. Thanks, Kevin.
Congrats on the name, man. I love it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Kevin, if you well, you're going to introduce Karan here, and then if Karan, give me a second after Kevin introduces you. I'm going to take off the video and I'm going to run up to and plug my computer into the TV, and then you'll be good to go.
Was everybody's dinner okay? Yeah. Yes, we're on Tally. Also, that's a parent company of Carolina Collision Equipment. We're also Transtar, which is Garmin and paint booths. So if anything frame-wise, measuring, still for chats hanging out over here all night. Appreciate everybody coming out. Welcome to our home away from home. I'm part of Snap-on, which is car liner. We have Sun Automotive, which is a new program that Ron is going to speak about tonight on Zoom. And I guess we'll pass it over.
All righty, thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
Let me get off this video. Can you unplug this and hand it to me? Thank you. HDMI. Ron, you could bring up your screen, buddy. Got this here. TV shut off, I think. You got the remote? I think the TV shut off. Hold on one sec. All right, Karan, you want to do a test speak?
Yep, I'm here. Can everyone hear me? Hello?
All right, now we don't have sound. Yeah,
Okay.
can you hear me, bud?
I
Hold
can
on,
hear
hold
you.
on.
I can hear you.
All right, don't do nothing because you're just coming through my no, we need sound.
That's the size the TV's going to go.
Speak it, yeah, but I
Yep.
don't have, I
Can
just
you
have
hear me?
HDMI plugged in. We don't have a cord for the sound.
1, 2, 3. Check.
Chris, grab a soundbar real quick.
Hold on one sec, Karan. Sorry, bud. We forgot to test this part.
No, that's okay. Take your time. Can you see my screen at least? It says introducing Sun collision repair information.
Yeah, that's good. But we
Okay.
forgot to test this, plug in a wire for the sound. No, sound don't go through it.
Yeah, just go and select that port on your laptop.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on. All right, try to say something, Ron.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
I'm no techie. We can hear you, bud. You are good. The floor is yours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it was really nice to see everyone there, and I wish I was there because I love in-person meetings than Zoom. I'm not the best at Zoom either, so bear with me. Just to introduce myself, my name is Kiran Wag. I am with Snap-on. We launched a couple of years back Sun Collision Repair Information as a part of Snap-on product. And I want to share with you what was some of our goals and intentions behind this product. So first of all, thank you everyone for inviting us. Josh, really appreciate you working this out, and Kevin for having me here to be part of this meeting. Really thank you all. So before, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you our thoughts, our intentions behind what we decided to do for the marketplace, and also a live demonstration of the product. So we're going to cover a couple of things. I know we're running a little behind, so I'll try not to be long-winded in my presentation. So let's go through and talk about some of the stuff. So everyone out there right now that I saw have OEM repair procedures. They had to deal with some way or the other, either through insurance companies, either you're working with your technicians on the estimating side. And I have no doubt that everyone in the room acknowledges and agrees that it's absolutely essential and important to have access and follow the OEM repair procedures. I just want to reiterate some of the reasons why, because I know everyone stands behind the first one for sure, which is to fix cars accurately and safely. Safety is #1 priority when it comes to any vehicles that comes into our shops, right? So that is the most important reason. The second reason why you want to have access to these OEM repair procedures is to reduce the repair time that it takes, the cycle time, what we call. Also, no more second guessing on repairs. When you're working on it, you want to get it done right the first time so you don't have to worry about it again. Nowadays, estimating is becoming even more complicated than it used to be before, with the insurance companies really tightening a lot of things up. So based on, when you estimate job based on OE procedures, it makes it a lot more smoother in terms of your interactions with the insurance companies. And finally, these procedures keep us up to date with the changing technology. I mean, I don't know how much I can talk about that last point forever, but there's so much, buzzwords like ADAS, all these technology that the newer vehicles have. It's ridiculous. And the only way we can stay up to date is having access to this OEM repair procedure. So one of the things we did, Snap-on as a whole, is try to understand what are some of the reasons or challenges that it's harder to access OEM procedures. And one of them was there's inconsistencies in information based on OEMs. There is no standard, so to speak, on what OEMs are expected to release, or how they're expected to release, or how they're supposed to lay out that information. It's a time-consuming activity when you're searching for information. It's not a easy thing these days, especially if you're going into the OE sites and you have to maneuver through a Toyota site and come back and go through a GM site. Also, there's the lack of access to all OEMs under one platform. So based on all the stuff we heard from the industry, and Snap-on being an integral part now with Carliner being under our umbrella, we really wanted to see what more can we do to serve the collision market. And that's where, Sun Collision Repair Information was born. This provides you a complete OEM repair information, so you can get all your body, frame, paint, finish, and materials that are used on the vehicle information. This is one of the most advanced and intuitive search engine that allows you to search for what you're looking for, like a component, like a quarter panel or something along those lines, with a matter of a couple of clicks. You can also find repair information by part numbers. The best feature, in my opinion, that we bring to the table, besides the repair information, is this ADAS Quick Reference Guide. This is, with just one click, you can get all the ADAS components a particular vehicle that you've selected might be equipped with, and it gives you a breakdown of if you need to calibrate certain parts, if you need a scan tool, if you need targets, things like that. And it's mobile friendly, obviously, like everything today is. So this is what the end goal was, based on what we went to the market and we asked the market that we could do for them. So with that said, I want to dive right into the live product so I can show you what it looks like. So this is our product site. So this is an online system, because we update this system every month. New data goes into the system every single month as OEs release the information. Just to give a little background how the information is kind of dissected, so to speak. We get raw data from OEM. Once we get it, we have a staff of about 80 editorial people in our building here in California, where we are based. And basically, we get that information. We do not edit, we do not change. However, we lay it out in a nice, consistent format for all OEMs. So regardless in our system, whether you're accessing an Toyota or you're accessing an Audi, you're going to have the same exact experience. So that's something that we really work hard on. On top of that, there's no consistencies, as I was saying, what the OEMs call these things. There are some OEMs that call a quarter panel side panel. So when you're in the system, regardless of what you type in our search engine for what you're looking for, we make sure that we are tagging the right articles in spite of what the OEMs might be calling them, to make it really easy and convenient for our end users, so they are not having to run through the whole system to get what they're looking for. So the intention was not just provide the data to our customers, but to make sure that they're able to access that data within a matter of clicks and within a matter of seconds or minutes. So let's dive in here a little bit. So you log in, you get a username and password, you hit login again, and you land on this page. So Again, as I was saying, it's a very intuitive system. We want to make it have the system talk to you. So the first thing is asking us to select a vehicle by year, make, and model. We put vehicles as and how they're released. So we have started to work on 2022 already. We go back to 2007 here. But one of the things that Snap-on wanted to do was have the entire database that we get from the OEM. So this doesn't only cover your collision stuff, it has all of your mechanical stuff, all of your diagnostic stuff. It also has, because nowadays with the newer vehicles, there's a lot of pre and post scan. So if you have a diagnostic code that pops up, you can put it in here and get information, OEM information related to that specific code as well. So that's one way to select the vehicle. We also have the option, and this is kind of unique to us, that you can type in the license plate number, choose a state and hit lookup. It will automatically decode the VIN number for you and have the vehicle selected automatically for you. You can also go to vehicle history. This saves the last 50 vehicles that you might have been looking or studying in the product. So you don't have to go back and type in the vehicle or even look for that search. If you're looking for these dimensions on this Jeep, you can just go here and get to that within just one click. So just to kind of pick a couple of vehicles here, I'm going to pick, so just to show a coverage of ours, we cover all vehicles, domestic, European, Asian, everything under the sun here. So as long as it's on the production, we have it. So let's pick an Audi. I'm going to pick an A6 here. Once you have picked the vehicle, you just click on use this vehicle and you'll land on this page. This is what we call our One Search Plus page. On the search engine here is what I was referring to earlier, being the Google of our system. So we want to make the end user experience really smooth. So on this case, and I'm going to talk about all the other stuff that you see on this page, but I want to kind of start on the top, is in the search engine there. Let's say this vehicle comes to my shop and I'm looking to work on a quarter panel. All you have to do is type in QU and it will start typing ahead for you right here. I'm going to click on quarter panel. And as soon as I do that, like Google again, it's going to give me search results. And I'm going to say, are you looking for quarter panel? Yes, I am. Click on it. And as soon as I do that, what we do is we break down the data that we have received from OEM on what we like to call smart cards. I like to call them buckets. These buckets help us really kind of segregate the data and make sure we're only looking at what we care about. So if I care about just the R&R procedure for this, click on that smart card and you will get exactly just that specific article. So you're not sifting through a bunch of pages to get to where you need to go. So from here onwards, it's all OEM. Nothing special about it from us. Whatever the OEM has given us, it's right here. So one more thing I need to point out here on top, I don't know if anyone noticed here, but Audi calls it the side panel, not quarter panel. We searched for quarter panel. However, our system was able to pull up the right result because they know what we are looking for. So all of this, you can print it out if you wish to do so by just clicking on this print icon on the right, or if you're done, X out on top, X out the search engine, and you're back on the starting page where you started. So the intention was, what can we do to get this information quickly, right? And we wanted to make that experience as smooth as possible for the end users. So let's talk about some of these links here, these little blocks. We like to call them the quick links. And why they call quick links? Because they get to where you need to go quickly, as simple as that. And out of all the quick links, I mean, we can go through all of these. We have some of the best wiring diagrams and things like that. But I really love this ADAS quick link. So when you click on this ADAS quick link, and each of the vehicle will have this, is it lists out any and all components this particular year, make, and model might be equipped with on the left in terms of any advanced driver systems. Tells you which jobs require calibration here on this column. Tells you if you need any special tools like targets. You need any scan tools. It will give you a quick checklist. So you can print this out and have it in your file so you have a quick understanding of what kind of vehicle you're dealing with and what you can expect from it. Now, if you want to actually do any of the work, these all are hyperlinks. So let's say I want to work on the rear outside view camera. Click on that. It will take you to the same experience that we had when we had the quarter panel it will automatically have this typed in. And let's say I care about the after repair information, like calibration, for example, I can go here and it will give me step-by-step process and procedure on how to do that. As long as the OEM has released it, we're able to deliver it to you. Now, all of this stuff, nothing special about it from us. It's coming straight from the OEM. We just put it in a format that's easy to access. Once you're done, you can X out here again, X out on the top right-hand corner, and you are back on the main page. So these are some of the quick links that you have access to in terms of you're looking to just find out how much fluids, oil this car needs, or coolant, or whatever. You can just click on it and get all the detailed information just with one click. When you're done, exit out here, and you're back on the main page. Below these quick links is what we like to call our repair real world fixes. So this is a really neat feature where being a Snap-on company, we're able to leverage a lot of data from our sister companies, and they do a lot of data mining from real repair orders that people have done to fix the vehicles mechanically, diagnostically, and we're able to put in here. So we have 5,000 documented repairs, and it gives us a what are the top 10 commonly replaced component, top 10 codes that have come up in this vehicle, symptoms that you can expect in this vehicle, and what other people have searched for in this particular vehicle. So this really makes it a good experience. If you get a car that has any of these things, you can look on one quick snapshot and click on these. These are all hyperlinks, by the way, and get to where you need to go. We also have this quick link here for service manual. So search engine is great. That's one way to look up things. But if you don't like searching, click on service manual. And this is basically the entire manual by a table of contents. And all you have to do is make it, extend it and stuff like that. And you can get to where you need to go quickly. So in this case, it has a collision section here. You can go here. You can go to dimensions. Let's say you're looking for some body dimensions. You can click on that. And it depends on what you're looking for. You can click on it and get the frame and body dimensions, and that's what you're looking for. All the pages you're looking for, they all can be printed out. They can all be easily accessible, either on your mobile device. You can use it on your tablet, iPad, doesn't matter. As long as you have internet connection, you're good to go. Our normal subscription comes with 5 concurrent users, so 5 people could be using the product at the exact same time, regardless of which device you're using it on. Just to kind of switch to another vehicle to kind of see some consistencies, I'm going to pick this Jeep. Another thing that we specialize in also putting out what materials a vehicle is made up of. There's a lot of aluminum that's in play these days, and we want to make sure that if you just type in materials here, click on that, click on the materials, there's this tab pops up. If you click on that, it will give you, in this case, Chrysler does a fantastic job with putting out a nice color coding for these materials. You can identify what aluminum parts and stuff that you're working with. So again, small thing, but something that's easily accessible if need be. Again, when you're done, just a couple of clicks in, a couple of clicks out. Really, that's the main goal and intention for this product. So we want to keep this really easy to access, not a whole lot of clutter. We don't want to have you go back and forth with it. Another thing that we pride ourselves is it's not just a product. We believe in a complete information service. What that means is that there will be times where you're in the system, whether you're new or you're just learning, that you're not sure where what is located. And I get it. That happens with me all the time. It's very simple. We have a helpline here. You can click contact us, call this number, go to product content support. These are AEC certified technicians who will pick up the phone right away. And then when I say right away, I know people say, well, I've called call centers before, and usually I'm on hold for 10 minutes. The difference between those and this is we have a dedicated group of people just focused on this. So they're not customer service. They're not going to answer your billing question. They're not going to help you if you forgot your password. They're not going to help with any of that. Their sole job is to help you find the information that you're looking for. If it's in the system, they will guide you to it. Hey, click here, click there, and you're there. If for some reason it's not made it through editorial process, or if the OE has not released it, they will go and do the research because we have access to OE sites ourselves. We will do the homework for you and get back to you and say, hey, based on what I'm seeing, OE has not released the information. Or if they have and it's not made it through our editorial cycle, we will just email or fax it to you right away, so you're not waiting for that information. So that's something that we provide as a part of our service. That way, we don't want to just say, this is the program, good luck, and figure it out. It's a whole service and support system that's built in with the system that helps you get the most out of this. So that is all I have.
Karan, we appreciate that. So there might be a couple of questions. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Stand up if you have a question. Stand up if you have a question. All right, Owen, speak loudly.
Does it have Porsche?
Does it have Porsche information in it?
Yes, it does.
Anybody else with a question? Come on, guys. I know you got questions. So, hey, okay, well, hold on. Before we get to how much, I actually have a question. So, as most shops know, I'm really big on the safety inspections that are required from the manufacturers. And when we had this conversation, I asked you the same thing.
Yeah.
Is it easy to pull up the seatbelt inspections, airbag inspections, and steering column measurements?
Yes, it is. It's within the search engine. We are working on a term. So the information exists. So just to kind of put that to ease, the information absolutely exists in the system. We're actually in the process of putting together a search term for it, and eventual goal is, as you saw, and I think it's kind of a conversation Josh, you and me had about it. I don't know if you remember, of also adding a quick link here that basically calls it out within just a click. So that's there. Yes.
Awesome. And the dying question everybody wants to know is how much?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. And I don't know if I should defer this to Kevin, or but I can tell you guys what our list price is, so you guys have understanding. But there's obviously several promotions and things like that we run all the time. And our list price is $199 a month. But again, for new customers, there's like a ton of different promotions that we run on a monthly basis. So we can definitely chat more. And I know Kevin and his team are representing our products right now. So you can always touch base with them, and you can always call me directly also. I don't mind. I can definitely share my information, but Kevin and his team are great resource as well.
All right, we have another question. Tim, what's your question?
What differentiates his product from other companies?
What makes your product different from like your competitors?
Okay, great question. So I think it's safe to say that there's one major competitor that we go head to head on when it comes to the repair information. A couple of things that we believe that we have done better in terms of not necessarily information, because at the end of the day, the OE information is OE information. It's coming from the same source. There's nothing magical that we have that they don't have, or they have that we don't have. What we have done different is our search engine. We believe that we can deliver the information faster. We also believe that our product is evolved to handle the changing technologies with things like ADAS quick links that we have, that I was just sharing earlier. So stuff like that, we believe we have taken our product to the next level to meet the challenges of the industry that are coming actually it has started already coming, but what it could come in the next few years.
Well, Karan, we definitely appreciate you taking time to do this presentation for us. We thank Autotality for hosting this event and introducing your company to us. And if anybody wants to get a hold of you, do you want to give your email or phone number real quick?
Sure. So is there somewhere I can type? That way you guys can see it, because I don't know if anyone has pens or not. Actually, let me just type it here. So ron.wagh@suncollision.com. Yep, simple as that.
All righty. Well, again, we really appreciate it, and we wish you a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so we're going to move on. We definitely appreciated that. Before we get to the next speaker, I wanted to make, we're actually going to do a couple of raffle items right now, just to kind of move that part along. And I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of things that we have coming up before we introduce our next speaker. So, Mr. Davies, can you approach? You're going to be my secret, my drawer. Okay. And Kyle Bradshaw, if you can come up here, you'll be my prize deliverer. All right, so first up, and again, we don't have just sizes for anybody. So first up is this lovely Honda. Double XL. Come on, guys.
You already stirred the bucket.
All right, we're gonna do this later. Stop. These guys, can you go around and get everybody's stuff? Oh, okay. These guys all have tickets. All right, thanks. We'll wait. Okay. Jeez Louise, sandbaggers.
We got it together, man.
All right, guys, let me give some announcements. So this is the last quarterly meeting for the year. But November 13th in Greenville, South Carolina at Greenville Tech, right, Shannon? Greenville Tech, on a Saturday, we're going to be having an event from Collision Hub. Kristen Felder will be coming down to do a class on negotiations and psychology. So it's definitely going to be a great class, especially for the front office. It's something that you don't want to miss. You know, if you haven't heard of Collision Hub, Google them. They're very good educators. They're going to teach you a lot about this industry and on how to make money, on how to do things right. So it's going to be an all-day event. Lunch is included. The cost is $250 per person. If you're a non-member, anybody additional is $250. If you're a member, anybody additional is $150. $250 plus $150 for additional. It includes lunch and the event all day. Petra, can you mute yourself for a second? Thank you. Sorry, lots of background. November 13th. It is a Saturday, and it will be at Greenville Tech. I have sent a flyer out. I'm going to send it out many more times. So definitely, you guys want to take advantage of that. It's going to be a really, really great event. Now, Kyle kind of touched base on the Collision Conference. So this is our second annual Collision Conference. It's going to be in Richburg, South Carolina, which is just south of Rock Hill. It's at the Gateway Conference Center. Mike Anderson's one of our speakers, Erica Eversman, David Luer, Mark Olson, and many more. We're going to be doing something that I just am now putting together. We're going to be doing a competition. We don't know what the grand prize is yet, but there's going to be a competition for painters, a competition for technicians, and estimators. So we're bringing in a virtual paint. What is it called, David? A virtual paint sprayer. We're going to be bringing in a virtual Miller welder, which is what I'm told is really hard. And I think one person has only got to 70% on it. So it's a good challenge for your technicians. Managers, owners, you're not allowed to join the competition. Paint supply companies, not allowed to join the competition. And then we're going to have an estimating one as well. We're going to have judges. It's going to be a great event for you guys to bring out your technicians. Yeah? Nope. So now if you're an all-in-one technician, yes, absolutely. Chris, yes, you can join because you're an owner and you're the only one in the shop. So you definitely can be a part of. You cannot, I guess. So. So anyways, it's going to be a fun event. We have many more tricks up our sleeve for the event. One thing that I want to really express about the conference is we're going to be doing something that I haven't seen at any event. We're going to have an open mic with some of the professionals of the industry. It's going to be closed to anybody but shop personnel. Vendors are not going to be invited. Anybody but a shop personnel is going to be the only ones invited to this ends the conference. You're going to be able to ask Mike Anderson anything that you want. Obviously, we got to follow antitrust, but you're going to be able to ask him anything you want. Mark Olson, Erica Eversman, Jake Rodenhoff. Kyle's going to be the moderator. Without it breaking antitrust, you can ask those dying questions nobody's ever answered. So we're definitely looking forward to that. So it's February 3rd through the 5th. The main conference is going to be the 4th and the 5th. Tickets go on sale November 1st. Everybody will start getting invites for the collision conference. Vendors, I'll be putting booths on sale November 1st. You guys can go on there, choose the booth that you want. And there's going to be different types of sponsorships. So we're definitely looking forward to the conference. It's called the Southeast Collision Conference for a reason. The entire Southeast is invited. My goal is to turn this thing like the Northeast Trade Show. Those guys get 5,000 to 10,000 people every year. That's the goal for the Southeast. And I know we can do it. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be this year, but I definitely have big plans for it. So again, it's about education. It's about the vendors coming in, looking at their booths, looking at some of their new products. There's going to be product demonstrations. It's going to be a really good time. So please keep that on your calendars. So moving forward, actually, let's do a few raffles and then we'll introduce our next speaker. All right, come back up, Kyle. So first up is this lovely Honda. You want to model it off? You can't put it on, you'll rip it. All right, so we got this lovely Honda. I needed to get it out of my house. I have not worn it, obviously. All right, Kyle. Brian, I'm gonna let you deliver it.
Okay.
All right, read the number off, Kyle.
479-4432.
4432.
32.
Win a chicken dinner.
Right here.
Perfect. You gotta model it now.
All right, next up is gonna be this Jeff Gordon book. You don't like Jeff Gordon? Re-gift it.
Christmas. All right. 479-4184. 10 seconds.
Mitch Dean.
There you go.
All right, the second Jeff Gordon book. We're gonna do them all.
479-4312.
Right, ding. I forgot, what was your name? Mike wins. You like Jeff Gordon, Mike? Do now. All right, next up is this other shirt. I have no clue what it is, but it's a shirt.
They're OGO, they're nice. They're Honda shirt.
Yeah, Honda, it looks like a Civic R-Type.
Yep.
There's a ladies small and a ladies.
Yeah. 479-4173.
Large.
73. Nada.
Going once, going twice, redraw.
What'd you say, 7.3?
Yep.
I forgot Brian's.
I think I got it.
You got a model it, Brian?
273?
No, it's 173. 479-4173.
Not me.
You sure? Okay.
All right, redraw.
479-4498.
All right. All right, next, another shirt.
479-4381. 479-4381.
All right, come on up. Is he getting small? Looking small right there? All right, next up, we're gonna do the Jeff Gordon autograph die-cast vehicle from Exalta.
For those of you that are real NASCAR fans, it's actually William Byron.
Well, that's Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. Hey, funny story.
No, wrong one. Wrong one.
It's really good. 479-4234.
Bingo, back there in the back. All right. All right, let's see the other Jeff Gordon. Is that autographed? Yes, the other one's autographed as well. And it's from our lovely friend from Exalted, David Road.
I met him before he got famous at putt playing video games. He was
479
20 years old.
4144.
I scooped that up. We'll
All
redraw.
right,
That's Matt Cremeny's number. He was back before me.
well, Matt's not in here. Matt's in there yabbing.
No, he can't get anything with the
Sorry, right.
Snooze, you lose.
Must be
There-
present.
Yeah, you snooze, you lose.
479 4211. 4211. Okay.
All right, next.
No?
4211. Yep. Okay. 479 4271.
That one was me.
You did win?
Yep.
All right, Brian.
I don't know if y'all knew
Yeah.
this, but Brian knew this guy.
Brian, you can have the box too. You can have the box. All right, next up is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. signed vehicle.
479 4156.
Bingo, Brian Shaw.
So the funny part, I'm in putt and I see this goofy looking dude with this beautiful, smoking hot woman. I'm like, who is this guy? And it was Jeff Gordon.
So I was in a pinball competition one time. Dale Jr. was in it too.
All right, hold on. Before you draw, let's give David Road a round of applause for the raffle. Want to explain what that is? What is that?
Who won? So the new 3M performance spray gun.
New 3M performance spray gun, donated by NCS Single Source. There you go. Go.
Look at Wade.
Draw the winner.
479 4159.
Brian Shaw.
He bought it.
And by the way, you can't leave early just because you won your prize. All right, so the grand prize is going to be from Thig Pen Equipment. It's this Yeti cooler from Hunter.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
All right, let's do the. You can fit a lot of beer in here.
Just the last one. 479 4165. Dude,
Here. Come on, Brian Shaw. Hey, let's play the lottery, man.
I feel guilty.
you should.
Board member just took 3 items.
Well, how much did you spend though?
That was the best
did.
$20 I ever spent.
Did you really only spend 20?
I mean, I spent 200.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for donating.
Thanks, guys. Let's give everyone around. All right, so next up is Miss Petra Schroeder. Petra Schroeder, I've met her at a few events. She is a wonderful lady. If you have never met her, it would be a pleasure to do so. She has done nothing but good for this industry, whether it's involved with the Women's Industry Network, with the Collision Industry Foundation. She goes to all of the events, CIC events, on her own dime. Nobody pays her way. She doesn't work for a company that gets her there. She does it for the love of the industry. There's not a whole lot to say. Everybody loves this lady. So, Petra, I'm going to let you share your screen and introduce and do your presentation.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? That's the first question. Okay, great. And now I need to, do I share my screen already?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some background noise there.
Yes, I apologize. While I'm looking for this one, I am in the tennis facility. I am attending our sectional tennis tournament tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday to basically advance to the finals, to the nationals. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So as Josh said, and Josh, thank you very, very much for having me here. I retired in July 2016, but for the love of the industry, I basically stayed in it and do whatever I can to help. Here today to basically introduce to you Collision Industry Foundation, CIF. We are the charitable arm of the repair industry since 2001. So we celebrate 20 years of birthday today. And our solely passion is to provide emergency relief to collision repair professionals who have experienced significant losses with natural disasters or other catastrophic events. And this is our sole purpose. And while you are enjoying, hopefully, to get to know some of the trustees here, at least visually, I wanted to point out that all trustees are volunteers. We have currently 14 on the board. Jim Ocampo, who recently joined us from Axalta, is not yet listed here. And we can up to 15 trustees. So this is the team that makes available everything we do behind the scenes. A quick view of what some of our milestones are for major events. As you can see, all the way from 2005 and 6, Hurricane Katrina, many of you will still know, through the flooding, through hurricanes, through hurricanes and wildfires. And last year in COVID 2020, we had COVID-19. And in 2020, we basically have also had floodings. In 2021, we are helping victims from floodings and hurricane damages. Quick snapshot of the 2020 relief. I know this is old data, but it's still hopefully impressive to you and show you what we do with the money that gets donated to us, tax deductible. We handled more than 670 applications for support from 38 states. And we basically donated back to the industry, to collision repair professionals, 275,000. And these were body technicians or painters, estimators, CSRs. While I invite you to take a look at the donors that basically help us, I wanted to give a big thank you to all of these. Only with their help can we do what we do. And CIF does not have members, so our regular income is basically donations. And we rely on that big time. And the industry at large, as well as individuals, have been generous in giving. And we have calls for specific donations, such as COVID, or such as the wildfires in California 2 years ago. But we also help throughout the year, replenishing the funds and help collision repair professionals. So a quick thing why we are here on this call, and that is simply to provide you the information what CIF can do, but also ask the question, how can everybody help? And there are several things. First off, create awareness. Help spread the word about CIF. Like us on Facebook, like us on LinkedIn, share our posts, make a tax-deductible donation to CIF so we can help professionals, and be our boot on the ground. What is this? In times of hurricanes, storm damage, water damage, other catastrophes, we need you in your local area to help us find collision professionals in need of assistance. So boot on the ground is really important for us. That's where you can help. How else can you help? There are situations, opportunities where you can have donations to us, to CIF, at no cost to you. If you are not aware, Amazon Smile. While you shop, Amazon gives. it's only 4.5% of the purchases when you shop at Amazon Smile, but this big thing helps. And just to give you an idea, CIF received in 2021 about $1,100 from Amazon Smile. But I throw another number at you. The total amount paid to all US charities is 285 million. Wouldn't it be great if Amazon Smile would be used when you purchase at Amazon and you don't have to spend any extra dollar out of your pocket and still donate to CIF via Amazon Smile? That would be absolutely great if we could increase this number and you don't have to touch any additional dollars. And then there is birthday fundraisers, where Facebook has set up guidelines to make it very easy for everybody to set up a birthday fundraiser. Become an annual donor, and I will get a little bit more in details into this one. The annual donor program was introduced in early 2021, and we tried to find tiers that basically have affordable levels for everyone. If you are already participating, thank you. If you want to participate, go to our website that I will show at the end of this presentation and try and participate. Every single dollar counts and no donation is too small. And these are our current 2021 annual donors. And I would like to shout out a very, very big thank you for all these companies that have made the program so far successful. And in 2021, we were able to give back to collision repair professionals quite a bit of money already. And we would love to have the problem of not being able to do that anymore. We need more applications. We need more people to be able to help. So if you help us to help collision repair professionals, that would be absolutely fantastic. How can you help? How else can you help? If you wanted to, you can join a committee and support CIF with skills and talents, virtual events, or marketing, or social media, wherever your strengths are, lend them to CIF and we will give you a little bit of work to do. You can also join the board of trustees. The major thing that we wanted to point out again, spread the word, share our posts, share information within your own network, help us find victims, and the more collision professionals are aware of CIF, the more we can assist them in times of need. This was a very short overview. I invite you to go to our collisionindustryfoundation.org website. You find many pieces of information there. I will send, or I had sent Josh a one-pager that basically summarizes the major pieces from what I just said. 3 things. Help us find victims, spread the word, and donate if you can. No single dollar on every single dollar helps. No donation is too small. Thank you. And if you have questions, I'm here to answer as much as I can. Thank you.
Petra, we really appreciate it. I'm going to share with everybody on some of the things that we've been able to put together for you guys with regards to donations, and we appreciate you taking the time to spread the word.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, so just, what's that? All right, so I apologize for that. You know, she's obviously at a tennis tournament. She does a lot for the industry. The Collision Industry Foundation is really an important foundation. It helps our brothers and sisters who have shops and they have tragedy strike them, whether it's through flood, whether it's through tornadoes, hurricanes, you name it. Basically, this foundation helps them put back the pieces. So it's a really good program for this industry, and they've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to everybody. So one thing that we did add, and I'm sure you guys noticed when you signed up for the event, we have 2 organizations that you can donate to. You can donate $1, you can donate $5. I've had people donate $100. It's a great charitable organization. But when you sign up for these events and you pay, you can add a donation to the pay for the events. We're also putting a donation thing onto our website. If you guys, again, donations are tax deductible. So if you guys can consider some of the events that help our industry out, we'd be really appreciative. One's the Collision Repair Education Foundation, and the other one is the Collision Industry Foundation. So they're there for a reason, to help our brothers and sisters who need help through tragedy. So very, very good organization, and I can tell you the people that are on the board care about this industry a lot. Jordan Hindler is one of my mentors, and she's on the board. And it's we got to give back to the industry that, you know, for a lot of you have given you guys so much. So definitely, we definitely appreciate them. Again, sorry for the audio. Petra, thanks a lot for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
I have one question.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't really understand. Maybe somebody knows, but that Smile and Facebook thing, was that something that designate that and you can donate to that as we're buying something? Is there a credit that applies to that foundation? If you use Smile for the Facebook thing, is that how that works?
You set up your Smile account on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then every purchase you make goes to the charity of your choice. So Amazon does an additional donation on your behalf.
Buy a product and it just goes to whatever charity you want, some small dollar amount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a bonus buying plan, and it bonuses the donation to them. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great organization. Again, guys, you don't have to donate a lot. It adds up. You know, when you sign up for this event, donate $5. We're gonna cut them a check after each event, and even if it's $200, I'm sure they'll be very grateful. So, all right, guys, we're gonna move on to our last speaker. This speaker happened to travel from the Boston, Massachusetts area. I was introduced by some people in the industry to her. I reached out to Kristen Felder and asked about her, and I've heard nothing but good things about Rachel and the organization. You know, she'll probably talk about some of her highlights. I was surprised to find out she's a BTEC and worked in a body shop and then worked for PPG and now is doing what she's doing. So without further ado, let's give a big round of applause for Rachel.
Can you guys hear me? One, thank you to the association for having me. I'm honored to be here, and it's impressive. Coming from Massachusetts, our association meetings don't look nearly as nice as this, so hats off to all of you for putting this together so nice. Also, for being here for like 2 hours, and you still all seem great, which is great. So hopefully I won't put you to sleep. As Josh mentioned, I did grow up with a very mechanical family. I started, went to vocational school, went to East Coast Aerotech, actually worked on planes a little bit, and found myself at a Nissan dealer in my early teens. And, from that point, kind of worked through dealership shops, distributors, ultimately PPG. And it was the last few years of PPG that I was helping businesses benchmark their business and think through, I went to night school, did all that stuff. And over time, I realized that a lot of us come from the trades and we're not thinking about running a business the way it should be run. We came from either we were a good painter, or we were an estimator, or whatever the case may be, and we decided to open our own business. So I'm very passionate about the blue collar industry as a whole, but specifically collision. And about 3 years ago, opened a practice to help owners and the industry as a whole kind of think through the future of their business. So I'm going to go over a few subjects, and I'll try to keep it brief. I know you guys have been here a long time, so I'll be sensitive to that. But we're going to talk about 3 major areas. We're going to talk about business planning. What does that mean for the future of your business, right? Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to exit this business yesterday? Do you want to just sustain the profitability? What does it look like for you in the next 5 to 10 years? Employee retention has been a problem, right? Pre-COVID,
keeping really good technicians, having a really reliable painter show up every day of the week was difficult before COVID. Since COVID, it's become an even larger challenge for all of us. So we're going to talk about some strategies and some ways that you can retain and recruit talented employees. And then the last one is we're going to talk about exit planning. You know, the worst thing you can do is wake up 65 and say, okay, I want to sell it. There's a lot of considerations that should be made and a lot of road mapping and planning into that. So we're going to just talk about some basics, and hopefully you guys will be able to get some, you know, little nuggets from today's presentation. And by all means, if there's any questions you have, you can call anytime. You know, I may not know the answer, but I will do whatever I can help. So that's sort of the agenda for this presentation. So when it comes to business planning, it's important that you have, you know, 4 people in your corner among, you know, others, right? But what we saw with COVID was those businesses that didn't have a first name relationship with their banker was a problem when everyone was rushing the bank for the PPP loans, right? Or the EIDLs or whatever they were. So having a really good relationship with your banker is important to the overall success of your business. Also having an attorney, one that understands your business, that can read through buying agreements, read through purchase and sale agreements, read through real estate contracts, and understand how it relates to your business. Same could be said about CPAs, right? So it's, and you know, not to talk too much about buying agreements, but those things as it relates to your business, having those transactions and things reflected properly on your balance sheet and P&L, really important. And then also having a financial advisor that understands what you want for your future, right? If you're looking to grow your business and have more locations, or if you're looking to downsize or whatever it is to you, having all 4 of those people sort of work within your framework and figure out what it is that you're looking for and help you build a plan for that. So where do you start, right? Like, how do you start with a business plan? I think a lot of people get intimidated by like, oh, I don't know, but it can be as simple as just taking some time out of your week and thinking through, what does your business look like 5 years from now? What does it look like 10 years? And thinking through what that dream is and start writing it out. Because the best thing you can start to do when you start to do that is realize that maybe you're missing some pieces and reach and lean out to those people, those, you know, 4 resources to help you figure those things out. And also think through, you know, how does a business relate to your personal finances? One of the big things that I see is that, you know, sure, your taxes look one way, but the reality is that there's cash in the business. The business is paying maybe for your Comcast bill or your car payment or the RV or the boat or whatever, right? So figuring out what those numbers are so that you can kind of forecast and think through what the future of your business is going to look like. And really, you know, there's some things that you should think through as you're building that business plan. What are the risks that could take your business out? You know, Petro just talked about, you know, hazards like actual hurricanes and storms and things like that. But what other variables in your business could take you out? When thinking about, you know, buy-side agreements, operating agreements within your business, if your business has family involved or has more than one partner, do you have an agreement to exit that partnership with the people in your business? More often than not, the collision centers that I'm meeting with, there's more than one owner. Either it's a silent partner, or perhaps it's family that got into business together and it's somehow evolved into what it is today. Or maybe it's just a painter and a body tech that said, screw the dealership, let's open our own, right? Like whatever it is, that's, you know, how we come to be. So thinking through all the what ifs are the things that could take out your success in the future. And then also thinking through, you know, those 10 people. As we've seen with the advent of OEM certifications, some of those certifications are actually attached to the technician. Well, what happens if that technician leaves 1 month before your certification? Now, all of a sudden, you need to go out and find a new technician that has that same certification, and it can put your whole business at risk because you're reliant on one person. So thinking through who are those critical people to your business, and then thinking through, all right, you've built this business, how the heck do you get out of it? And when do you? There needs to be sort of a roadmap to that point to figure out how much do you need to sell. What time does that make sense to you in your future? And how does that affect your family? How does it affect all the other things that maybe you haven't thought of And having professionals along the road to help you think through the things that maybe you can't see in your own mind. Those are all kinds of important things to think through. One of the bigger things that I've seen that's commonplace for, you know, contracts and operating agreements within business owners is thinking through, you know, if you have more than one person in your business, however it may be structured, what happens if one of those people passes away? You have, it's referred to as a buy-sell agreement, an operating agreement among partners that basically says in the event that someone passes, the remainder of the business is then passed on to the remaining shareholders or not, depending on what you want. But in essence, stipulates what happens if the worst case happens. But what's often left, and most people think, oh yeah, I've got an operating agreement, I've got a buy-sell. What's often overlooked is disability. What happens if someone's disabled? I'm working with a case now where one of the partners unfortunately was diagnosed with a terminal brain issue, and he keeps calling and ordering parts, but he's 50% owner and his name's on the bank. So as long as he keeps ordering, there's really nothing the other partner can do. So thinking through, you know, what happens if the person you're reliant on in the business becomes disabled in whatever capacity that looks like, right? And COVID for sure showed us a lot about the realities of death, disability, and just being out for a little bit, whether it was a week, 2 weeks, it all makes an impact for the business. Particularly when, you know, even when we think through technicians, on average, technicians are grossing anywhere between 200 and 400,000 of gross revenue per technician. So if you lose one of them, that affects your overall sale. So thinking through all those components can really affect the overall success of your business. Retaining key people. Most of you guys are probably familiar with qualified benefits. And what I mean by that is, you know, 401ks, group health, group life, like just the regular health benefits, those kinds of things. And as independent owners in the room, you know, thankfully I've had some different people send me some of the benefit books from Caliber and some of these larger MSOs, and I've had the opportunity to kind of dissect those agreements and look through those benefit packages. And the reality is, for those of you in the room that are independents, you really can stack up against the MSOs because a lot of those benefits are actually not employer sponsored. They're just benefits offered to the employee that they can elect to pay for themselves. No different than what you guys can do. But as the landscape changes, then this industry is really, you know, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of working remote. You need technicians on the floor to work. So that's not really a benefit that in most cases we could offer our employees. But when McDonald's is offering that they'll pay you tomorrow, and other companies are offering, you know, large salary and all these benefits, we're going to need to start thinking a little differently about what we're offering our technicians and our employees in order to retain them to the business. So above and beyond that, though, there's a segment in the benefits arena that's often referred to as the golden handcuff plan. So in the 1960s, GE started what was referred to as non-qualified deferred compensation plans for top executives. And since then, it's sort of changed in a variety of different ways. But the reality is that segment of benefits is unique in the sense that it's discriminatory by nature. So when you think of 401ks and health insurance and things like that, you have to offer it to everyone. It's, you know, you cannot discriminate. But in the golden handcuff arena, you can actually specify a specific person to the shop. So if it's a painter who shows up early, doesn't have a drug habit, you know, paints the cars correctly, you know, does all the things you want them to do and you don't want to lose them, you can actually create a plan where the business is funding a plan on your behalf, essentially to handcuff them to the business. They're customizable, you design them to the day that you want to leave and exit, but it allows you to know that until you decide that the business is done and you sell it, you're not going to have to rehire that painter because it's too meaningful for them to leave. So know that there's some creative planning that you can do within your shop to retain the people that really make it successful. Because the fear is, well, you know, what if you train them and they leave? Well, what if you don't and they stay? That's even worse. So it allows you to put more training into the people that you care about. It allows you to know, you know, with certainty that you're not going to lose those A players. And again, you know, thinking through as a business owner, your personal finances are so intertwined within your business finances. when we're thinking through your overall planning, thinking through, what does retirement look like for you? How much money do you need? The cash that you've been living off of and the lifestyle that you've been living off of, actually quantifying that, figuring out like, what is it that you truly need in order to plan for your future? And in light of some of the recent tax reform, there's certainly some things on the estate side that also need to be addressed. If tomorrow you decide to sell your business for $5 million, Uncle Sam's going to be looking for a portion of that. So how can you mitigate that and plan ahead for those kinds of changes?
By the way, you don't have to hold the mic because nothing's coming out.
Oh, I thought it was. Can you guys hear me in the back?
Yeah, you don't need to hold it.
Turn it off.
You can't hear it. There's nothing coming out.
It's never
No,
worked.
that's what I was just telling Owen. You can put it down.
Hey, well, as long as you guys can hear me, wow, that's gonna sound awful. Okay.
No, but I
so
think it was working.
the next thing I'll talk about is as it relates to business, right? We think of business in 4 phases. There's startup, there's growth, maturity, and there's exit. If you're in the growth phase, just started your shop, more than not, you're trying to reinvest back into it. You're trying to buy more equipment, you're trying to make financial decisions. It's important that you have a team that's helping you make those choices. Should you finance, the car liner? Should you finance this? Should you pay cash? Like what makes the most sense? Thinking through those investments. Then you move into growth, where maybe you're trying to add a location and there's some attrition there, where maybe as you open a second location, you don't need, double bills in both places, right? Your cable bill, your internet bill, all can sort of reduce in cost because you're spreading it across different businesses. But at some point within your business, you reach a level of maturity where you establish the profitability that you're comfortable with, and we always want more. But, there's a level where you're comfortable, and that's usually the opportunity where you can start thinking about your own future, carving out more for your benefits and for your own retirement. And then there's transfer. And in all different phases of business, right, there's different recommendations, there's different things that we're thinking about to help you get to the next level. And again, these are just sort of some of the things that we're thinking about, like above and beyond when it comes and relates to planning for your business, is thinking through the lens of what can hit you, what can affect you, how does your personal finances affect your business, and really thinking through and architecting a full plan to say, okay, here is your future on paper. Here's the steps that you probably need to take. And I always relate it to, and I talked with Josh about this earlier, planning, it's similar to training for a marathon. If you decided that you were going to run a marathon next year, you wouldn't just open your front door and run 26 miles. It would hurt, unless you're a runner. But the reality is when it comes to planning, you do it just as you would train for a marathon. Maybe you'd walk a few miles, then you'd run. The same approach can be taken to planning for your business. It doesn't need to be this all or nothing thing. Taking small steps toward your ultimate goal, right? If you save $1 today for the rest of your life, that compounded makes a huge difference than if you never save anything. So even if it's just a difference between a small step and a large step, taking action is always better than not. So exit planning. There are so many different considerations when it comes to exit planning, and certainly with COVID, I think it made us all reevaluate what's important to us, right? I think we've the statistics and articles are talking about how people are looking for new jobs, how a lot of people have decided they're just not going to go back to the workforce. There are certainly a lot of collision centers across the US who've just said, I'm done, I'm all set, I don't want to deal with it anymore. So the exit planning as a whole has become paramount at this point, right? People are considering. On the flip side of that, we've got all these MSOs across the country that are ferociously buying shops up. I feel like every week I'm hearing about a new facility that just sold. So there are different considerations to think through, and I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but thinking through cash flow, ensuring that all your employees stay on board. Whenever someone asks me about exit planning, they're not screaming it, they're typically whispering it because they don't want everybody to know. And that really comes down to the fact that they don't want to have a walkout. You really, in order to exit your business properly, you need to sustain and maintain that profitability the whole way through. And the biggest thing I've seen is that, if your CPA has been working for you for the last few years, chances are they're trying to show as little as possible profit. The problem with that, though, is that if it's your technician that's going to finance via the bank and buy you out, or it's an MSO, whoever it is that's going to buy you out, ultimately what's going to be looked at are your books. So there needs to be a runway in advance of selling your business where you start to scale up your profitability. And unfortunately, you have to show a little bit more in order to get more on the back end. But it's important to think through that, because you can't just go from all of a sudden having a business for 20 years that never had profit, and then all of a sudden miraculously in the last 5 years of business you showed $1 million, right? Like you are going to have the IRS at your doorstep. So thinking through how to successfully stage your business so that it's the best possible, so that you can get the best dollar possible. But then also thinking through, if you sell your business and you sell it for $5 million, you probably don't want that full $5 million in year one. You probably want to work out an arrangement to have that payment staggered over time. Can you keep the property if you own it and sustain cash flow through rental income? Most of the MSOs are not actually buying the property, they're buying the business with blue sky value, and they're allowing the owners to hold on to the property and usually working in some capacity as a consultant or an employee, and there's always a contract with that, so make sure you read the fine print. But thinking through all those iterations, and then beyond that, thinking through the family. Most of you probably have a family-owned business with different members of your family involved. Thinking through what does that mean, and how do you equitably share it amongst your family? Because in many cases, what I've seen is that the large majority of the net worth of the family is tied up within the body shop. And if you have family members that aren't involved in the body shop, how do you equitably share that with the people that aren't involved in the day-to-day operation? Or perhaps a child has grown your business from 500,000 to 5 million, and it's really that one child's effort that's brought that value up. So it's thinking through how to properly plan for that transition to family so that you can still have a nice Christmas and still, not want to kill everybody, at the holidays. So thinking through those things can be really important and critical. And advisors, there's plenty of financial advisors out there. There's plenty of attorneys. There's people that can help you think through the things that you're probably not thinking about in your current space. Because let's face it, the variables that you guys have in the collision industry are crazy, right? Like the parts might not fit, the color might not match, you might have got the wrong part. There's all sorts of other things that you're thinking about in the business rather than having time to think on it. Another thing to think through is, with co-ownership, there's many different ways that you can transfer if you are in a partnership. If you and your business partner have age differences, right? So let's say someone's 50 and someone's 60. The person who's 60 definitely is going to want to get out in advance of the person who's 50. But the person who's 50 might still have children in college or have obligations to their own life and family that they need to stay on for 10 years. So there are ways in which you can, share equitably or transfer on ownership of the business to other partners in the business, but having a plan for that is important. Transfer to family can be sticky, but certainly can be done. Sometimes it's through profit sharing. Sometimes it's just through gifting, annual gift allowances from the parents. Sometimes it's through restructuring the business, but there are different strategies that you can take for, in essence, transitioning the business onto family. And then this is interesting. So sometimes there's people who don't have anyone that they can leave their business to, right? They don't have children, or they don't like any of their family, or whatever the case may be, but they don't want to leave it to their family members. But what can be done is a charitable leave trust, which, if you guys are familiar with Bill Gates and the Bill Gates Foundation, the irony is he gets all this admiration for opening this foundation. But what's interesting is when you pledge all of your assets to a charitable foundation, you're given the tax break up front. So you essentially can waive the tax burden that you have in your living years, knowing that when you ultimately pass on, your estate goes to the foundation. But what's unique in the Bill Gates situation is he has his kids working for the foundation, so they'll get a nice salary for the rest of their lives, but it looks great on paper. So there are different ways that you can leverage different tools to offset taxation and to mitigate tax loss. So thinking through all these different ideas and concepts to think through how you can transition either wealth onto your family or to no one and just pay less in taxes now. Strategies for a third party. In English, I'm just talking about NSOs or private equity. Those types of things really rely heavily on business valuations. So having someone, you know, we do business valuations at the firm, but like having someone who can help you craft the valuation that's in par with what's going on in the market, right? Just like real estate. I don't know about Carolinas, but I know up in the Northeast, houses right now are insane. Like people are paying so much more than what they're worth. There's a seasonality as well to business. What's difficult and often not quantified is that when it relates to selling your business, there's a lot of value and stake in the owner, right? You guys who have put your blood, sweat, and tears into your business, people know you. People buy from people they know. So what's difficult to quantify with a sale of a business is how much value does the name behind the name, right? The person wearing the hat, the person that came in the morning is significant. So putting that to paper and actually valuing the business as it relates to that, and maybe offering up a few years of consulting to whomever is going to buy you out can help with that bottom line price. And then, you know, employee engagement, I talked a little bit about it with the qualified benefits. What's interesting, like, you know, 401k plans have different features on them where you can actually profit share to your employees. You can do what's referred to as an ESOP stock program, a restricted stock program where you're offering up shares to your employees to incentivize them to stay on board with the business. They're complicated. It takes sophisticated planning to put them together. There's some pros and cons to it, but there are so many different ways in which you can engage your people to stay and even stay on board with the business until you sell it. And you can be a little bit more transparent when they've got a little piece to the business because they're okay if you sell it because they're going to benefit from it as well. So thinking through those things and having a plan to make sure that your whole team kind of rides off into the sunset with you is critical. So recap, the three things I think if you take anything away from my chat is look at the agreements you have with your partners or with your business. What are you doing to retain key people? And what's your plan to exit? Those would be sort of the three main areas. And that's kind of it for my presentation. So I'm on sort of all my social handles. Scary is my maiden name, so Scary is like the obvious choice. But so if you guys need anything, I'd love to help you. There are so many different people out there. You know, if you don't want to work with me, I can get you other people that are great as well. But it's important for you guys to have people looking at your business, helping you plan for the future. And that's kind of it. Thank you so much for the time, and I'll pass it back on to you.
Hey everybody, I'm Ted Martin. I'm the treasurer, and Josh got me to close everything out tonight. First and foremost, being the most recent, Rachel, thank you for making something that can be very boring engaging, particularly being you suited at the body shops. And congratulations on being our first live person. Well, thank everybody for coming out tonight. How many are first timers? If you can just raise your hand. All right. We want to kind of pissed me off tonight having to fill my car up and see $3.30 a gallon coming down here, but it's worth it. And if you made it just tonight, this is getting better. We're kind of getting to know each other again, getting live. But please come back. We will continue to keep everyone engaged. It will get better. More speakers will be coming. And we just want to thank you for being here. Everyone be safe getting home. It's our favorite season of the year, deer season. Be careful. You got a question? Oh, we forgot one right.
Oh my goodness, we did. You're right. Good call. Hold on. Augusto, would you like to come up? So we got 2 more raffles to do. Basically, it's the last video we saw. It's gonna be basically free branding for your shop. So 2 people are gonna win.
Brian, win.
No, dig deep.
Come on, Brian.
All right.
479-4315.
4315. And by the way, you can thank Auto Shop Solutions. They're a level 2 sponsor who are putting this up. So we believe you, man. All right, cool. You don't have to.
479-4333. Yeah. 4333.
Yes, that's you.
No.
No.
Who won?
Brian won again.
No.
Who won?
Yeah.
Okay, free branding for K&M Collision. Last thing, just so you guys know, the board members have to spend all day Saturday at a board meeting. So that's what the board members do. All day Saturday, we're doing a 2022 planning board meeting. So these guys, instead of spending time with the families, are going to be up there with me at K&M Collision all day, talking about what we're going to do for you guys in 2022. Give it up for that. Have a good night. Drive safe. Don't get in any accidents, Chris Heron.
Knock on wood.
Remember we got in a wreck when he left here last time? We all drove by and we're like, look at that wreck. It was Chris. Good job, man.